Netflix's troll movie sucks. Hello and welcome to the video. In this video, we will be discussing the new Netflix movie Troll and sharing some of the thoughts and opinions of people on Reddit who have watched it. Before we dive into the details, please note that this video will contain spoilers for the movie Troll, so if you haven't watched it yet and don't want to know any details about the plot, you may want to skip this video, but if you're okay with spoilers and want to hear what others have to say about the movie, keep watching. My favorite part was when the Special Forces captain was tasked with managing traffic lol. How about when her dad dies and all the soldiers around them had just been killed by the troll? You know, the soldiers that captain is in charge of, all his brother-in-arms that he's served with, and he just stands there staring at her and looking sad for her loss. You're talking about the same captain who told them to move closer with the bells and he got them all killed, but not his helicopter. The most unrealistic part, aside from the troll, of course, was the sudden sunrise. It was pitch black, then bam. Sun. Whatever happened to the 2+ hours of twilight before sunrise? That part pissed me off. Like what? Right after the bee told her he could go home. What a kick in the stones. Pun intended. And like she instantly went from sad to happy in a heartbeat when it died. It was so weird lol. I gotta read that book about the monk who throws his head at his enemies to bite them. And finger darts. Why was she acting like her dad was an idiot for thinking it was a troll? I mean, what the F did they think the giant creature that came out of the mountain was? I loved her whole mindset of it's definitely not a troll. On a completely unrelated note, we need to bring in my dad, the troll expert, because we need his help. I apologize in advance if he starts talking about trolls. Her father even asked why she brought him if she didn't believe it was a troll lol. Nora. Dad, do me a favor. Don't call it a troll. Dad, okay. Dad, this thing is a mountain dragon. Everyone else, oh that makes sense. Good thing it isn't a troll. Just like the Godzilla reboot, more monster, less human element. I like Troll Hunter much better. So how exactly did they manage to kill the troll family? The main troll was practically indestructible. Also, if trolls are Ark and Mountain, and I think Bones of Ice or something like that, why there are bone corpses of the other trolls? It's hilarious that while literally looking at a video of a troll, multiple people in the room laugh at the idea of it being a creature and still try to say gas explosion. Even worse, when weaknesses from fairy tales are brought up, another guy laughs and calls it ridiculous. Literally mocks them for bringing up fairy tales despite seeing a mythical creature with his own eyes. Imagine if an Independence Day after the ships wiped out the major cities, if some guy who saw it happen starting scoffing at the idea of aliens and called people nuts for bringing them up. That's similar to what a few characters did in this movie. Also, why did they consistently fly their helicopters in range of the troll's grasp? It's extremely slow and there is no reason to get that close to it, yet they're constantly right near its head. On behalf of all Norwegians, I just want to assure everyone this is not how we treat our trolls. Right. This movie just made me upset. I felt sorry for it. Why are mine workers always dying in movies? Just in movies? Yeah, it's probably a deadly mining accident every day. What the F is hypernature? Hypernature? Camouflage? Well, this surpassed my expectations, I could say that at least. But I did set my expectations extremely low, and that's coming from someone who watched the original Troll Hunter. Also, the thing that bothered me the most isn't even troll related at all. It's how someone managed to hack into a F-35 nuclear missile launch system and weapon system with a lone laptop. Overall, it's a decently entertaining enough popcorn flick. It's just a military system, how hard can it be? Okay, the scene where her father dies is some balls just to drive the plot forward. Soldier is on the 50 calorie, watches it walk through an artillery barrage, and that dude thinks, yeah ma, shoot it with my machine gun, that'll do some damage. Same with all the rifles, why are you still shooting at it with your rifles? What? I laughed out loud when, after all that everyone has seen in regard to using weapons on this thing, that they decided to guard Oslo with dudes on bridges with rifles. Like what? Artillery shells did not even phase the thing mildly and y'all are gonna just send your soldiers to the slaughterhouse like that? The rules haven't changed in the last hour. Those dudes with rifles are as good as dead. Utter incompetence. I was on the trolls' side. Fuck humanity. You just murder a bunch of baby trolls in their own home. then leave one alive to use as bait to lure the poor heartbroken dad into the mountains to die. Poor baby troll skull with the big crack in it. Then you have the balls to build your own palace on top of the scene of a child massacre for luck. Bastards. Honestly, apart from negligent property damage and the initial mountain explosion, he didn't even do any damage without being provoked first. He was just a dad mourning his dead kids and trying to go home. I thought this film was going to go deeper into folklore and harmonizing with nature. Instead we just got Norwegian Godzilla. On top of that, they decided he is cool, let's let him live. Then, bam, it's sunny out of nowhere and they kill it. Then have the nerve row party on its corpse. This movie was utter trash. I thought that was weird too. The scientist was screaming, "We won't harm you. Just go back to the mountains and live." Then the troll dies and everyone starts high-fiving and congratulating each other. This movie moved way too fast. I feel like these tropes would have worked if it were paced better in a show series format. I think they probably tested it with audiences and realized the movie's ending is depressing, so they had the soldiers cheer instead. I was totally on board with this movie and had turned my brain off and was just vibing and having a good time. And then some random government employee casually hacks into a fighter jet that is hauling what is implied to be some sort of nuclear or chemical weapon. Literally made me completely detach from the film. Some quick points. Why was that one soldier, Chris, conveniently exactly where he needed to be to progress the story at all times? It was almost like whoever was in charge of his assignments was having a text convo with Nora so he could line their schedules up. Why did the military trained helicopter pilots not consider for even a second that flying within arm's reach of a bipedal, humanoid monster while actively pissing it off was a stupid idea? Why did everyone continue to act like her dad was a nutjob when he was so clearly and obviously 100% correct about what was going on? Why did she even bring her dad, the troll guy, in on this if she didn't think it was a troll and was just gonna be a effort to him about it the whole time up until he literally dies? Why did a trained soldier see not even 2 minutes beforehand that full-blown artillery fire didn't even phase this thing and then decide to fire his mounted machine gun at it? What did he think that was going to do? How did the government guy instantly know who hacked the plane? Furthermore, that implies that he already knew she may able to do that and he just let her keep working there? Okay. Why did Nora have no issue with the fact that the royal guy admitted they gaslit her dad into a mental institution and ruined his life for nothing? Why was the advisor to the PM able to just leave freely with his credentials and security badge after quitting his job and then use those items to bypass security checks and the police multiple times without a single person noticing? Why did the government continue to absolutely refuse to acknowledge the whole troll thing when literally every piece of evidence was screaming it's a fucking troll? Why did they decide to use men with rifles to guard Oslo after clearly seeing multiple times that even their heaviest artillery fire didn't even phase this thing? That's sending your men to a certain death. Why did they spend so much time at the beginning of the film highlighting the creature's footprints? And they were obviously footprints, and yet not a single person was like anybody else think these look like footprints. Why did they spend so much time on the whole hypernaturals when it literally amounted to nothing and was never mentioned again? Bro, you smell that? It smells like outside. Yep, but it's extra outside what Nora? Why did they not try to trip or subdue the troll in any way whatsoever and just continue trying to shoot and bomb it even after it's become painfully obvious that that doesn't work? Why did Nora make a point of proving that UV light turns troll bones to stone and then not take a video of that and have the guy Swith who has a direct line to the PM send that confirmed evidence of a valid weakness strategy to the government and instead decide to try and fight the thing with an old pickup truck? What was the point of psychologically torturing the troll by baiting it with its kid skull? That was so F up that it made me wish the troll would just step on her. What a F dick move. There were 10,000 ways to make that troll chase you, and you bring it the skull of its murder child? Jesus Christ. Who is the real monster of this movie? Why was Nora even brought on board in the first place? She's a paleontologist, not a geologist or seismologist. The fact that they wanted a paleontologist implies that they already knew they were dealing with some kind of ancient life form. And yet when she arrives everyone in the room is like, why is there a fossil scientist here? I don't know guys. You are the ones WHO sent for her, why don't you tell us?